So, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me this evening. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Juliette Bryant, and I'm a nutritional consultant and a superfood alchemist and uh, a wild woman, a wild stroke moving into wise woman. And one of the things that I love is I've been holding women's circles for over 12 years now. And I really started holding them when I was pregnant with my second child because I felt a real need for sisterhood. Having lost my mum when I was 21, and having three brothers, four brothers actually, three half brothers, one full brother, I was surrounded by men a lot in my life and had the usual sister wound that I think a lot of women have, where I felt quite betrayed by women and I much preferred male company. And as I got older and had children, I really felt the need for sisterhood, that need for coming together with like minded people to support each other, to be able to commune, to share. And I really wanted to heal that wound that I felt, that wound of betrayal. And it led me on a beautiful journey into understanding that I think a lot of us have this sisterhood wound, not from this lifetime, but from ancestral, other lives, ancestral lines coming through where women betrayed other women to save themselves, with the whole witch wound, which was so prevalent. And that's a massive subject in itself, which we're not going to get into too much. But the need to come together, I feel, has never been stronger than now. We've lived in a very patriarchal society for a long time. It used to be matriarchal, and then it swung, the pendulum shifted to the patriarchal society that we are still in currently, where women have been suppressed, where our voices have been muffled. And when I was tuning into tonight and what I wanted to do and what I wanted to share, what kept coming through was the earth speaking about the need for us to express our voices, the need for us to be heard as women. And it was really interesting because this came through very strongly earlier. And just before I came on, I started coughing and I was like, and this frog developed in my throat out of nowhere. And it's very interesting because I don't know if any of you have found this, but sometimes when you need to speak something, your throat shuts. And I have it quite often when I'm about to stand up and do a talk, or in the middle of a talk when I'm hitting on something, my throat just closes and I start coughing. So I always have a drink nearby because it's something that happens quite frequently. And it's not that I've got a cough, it's that there's this information that wants to come out. And, our voices have been shut down so much. There is a deep fear within us all of, if I speak my truth, what will people think? If I speak my truth, will it be heard? Will it be accepted? If I speak my truth, will I be hung or burned at the stake? So, on this full moon, as the earth is blossoming, we're in this time of real blossoming. I don't know if you've noticed the May blossom, the hawthorn everywhere, the beautiful white flower. There's this amazing awakening of the earth all around us. And the earth is calling us now to blossom, to allow our voice to come through, just as the earth is blossoming and speaking. The earth is that divine feminine. And that divine feminine principle wants to be heard now. So I just want to take a moment, and in the chat box, if you want to type in, when I say about your voice coming through, what does that do to you? What do you feel when you start to think about your voice and speaking your truth and allowing that voice to come out? So if you want to type that into the chat box, that would be great. If anyone struggles with typing in the chat box, you can unmute yourself and say it out loud as well. So what does it feel like to you? So someone said excited, freeing, vulnerable, showing up. Someone said frightened, being authentic. Yeah. How often do you allow your voice to really come through? Do you feel like you suppress your voice? Realized I hold back a lot as worried I will say the wrong thing. I feel easier writing than speaking out. Yeah, that's fine. Right. That's no problem. Powerful, but right away need to cut off. Oh, sorry. But right away need to cut off and hide. I feel trapped, like there's a barrier between what I want to say and saying it. Yes, suppressed at first to fit in. So there's a lot of people, that feel this holding back for whatever reason. And so, in a little bit, we're going to do a little ceremony. We're going to do a meditation. We're going to do a bit of a journey and a ceremony to allow our voice to come forward. Someone else said, yes, suppressed. Who here wants to free their voice? Who here goes, you know what, I've had enough. I don't want to I don't want to hold back my voice anymore. I want it to be heard. Who here, put your hands up if, yeah. Yeah, I seeing nods and hands up. Brilliant. Who here's really happy staying in the background and quiet? Anyone not want their voice to be heard? You might be in the wrong place. it's it's so important really that we tap into this. And this is the full moon, it's the full flower moon. So this aligns to this blooming. It symbolizes fertility, it symbolizes growth and change and blossoming into this fullest potential. And I went out and walked around the garden just before we did this, and the roses have all come out today. There's, a plethora of roses out at the moment, which is so beautiful. And that rose symbolizes the divine feminine. It symbolizes that opening up into our fullness, into that truth of who we are. Someone just said it's the milk moon in Scotland. Wow, amazing. It's also known as the hare moon. And I don't know about any of you guys, but I've been seeing quite a lot of hares recently. And they're a real sign when you see hares of that deep ancestral wisdom. So for me, that's a real sign that this ancestral wisdom is waking up. The earth is waking up. Until about a year ago, I'd never seen a hare. I'd never seen one anywhere. I mean, I grew up in London, in Florida, but I'd never seen one until this last year. And suddenly I see them so much. And it is that earth waking up, it is that feminine power coming through. And for me, it really feels like the divine feminine is beginning to unlock her voice. This expression, this magnificence is coming through. And so when we look at this, one of the things we need to look at is, what is your biggest fear of speaking out? And so I want you just to think about that for a minute. If you spoke out and you spoke your truth, what is the biggest fear that could happen? What do you think? Type it in the chat box. What is your biggest fear? Being attacked, rejection, people talking about me, being criticized by people. And all of these things, this rejection, this being criticized, this being attacked, this rejection, judgment, someone else said, losing my words and not finding the right words, chaos, change that sometimes speaking the truth causes. Totally. Speaking the truth can definitely cause change. That I shall go blank and shut myself down. Wow. So these are all really quite powerful statements that people have been making. And if we I want you to look at the opposite side. If we do speak our truth and not this negative side, what is the best that could happen as we speak our truth? What is the most positive, the highest version of you speaking your truth? Change maker, liberation, total freedom, freedom and connection to self, freedom, change for the better. Love it. So, exhilaration, power. Okay, so which version would you like to go with? The fear or this version? Because it's a choice, isn't it? Number two, yeah. I don't think anyone wants to go for number one, do they? Well, I hope not. So we want to sit in number two. We want to sit in this exhilaration, in this power, in this authentic showing up, in this freedom, in this deep connection to self, in this liberation, in this change maker. And so in a minute, we're going to do a meditation where we're going to step into that version, that fullest version of ourselves who can speak our truth. Because what happens is when one person does, when one person goes, you know what? Fuck it. Excuse my language. But that's what it's about. It's about that fuck it. I can do this and I'm going to speak my truth and I'm going to be here and I'm going to be me. And when one person does that, someone else goes, oh, look, she's doing that. I can do that too then. And it creates a ripple, just like the throwing the pebble in the pond. And the fear is that you'll be the only one standing up there and then your head will be chopped off, isn't it? That you'll be the only one left alone and everyone will be like, God, we don't want to be with that person. So it's that fear of that rejection of no one else doing it. But with each person that stands up, it lights someone else up. And we are in a time now where we have to do that. We have to stand up. We have to stand up for ourselves, for women, for the earth, for the beauty of nature, for all of the magnificence of life. And we've got to stand up from a place of love and not fear. Because when we come at anything from love, it changes the whole reaction. It changes everything. And that's what coming together like this is about. It's about coming together and each being able to have our individual voices so that we can come together as an individual, but also as a collective. Does that make sense to everyone? And it's through that union that we can make real change. And that change comes from us, first of all, being anchored into the earth so that we know that we are safe. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little journey. And in that journey, we are going to anchor into the earth and we're going to step into that highest version of ourselves. And then after that, we're going to come off of being muted and we're going to share whatever you want to share. You're going to share your journey, your highest expression that you want to express. And yeah, and if you don't want to share speaking, you don't have to. You can type as well, whatever makes you feel comfortable. So I invite you right now to get comfortable. And if you want to have a notepad next to you so you can make a note of anything that comes to you during the meditation, then that would be amazing. I've put you all on mute so that there's no sound interference, so that we can all have a lovely journey. So I invite you now just to bring your awareness to your breath. Just feeling your whole body relaxing. Feeling yourself becoming present in this moment. Becoming aware of your body. Becoming aware of how it feels. Becoming aware of all the points of contact your body has with the chair, or the sofa, or the floor, or the bed, or wherever you are. And just allowing yourself to sink into that space, feeling held and supported. On your next breath, I'd like you to imagine that you're breathing up from the earth. You're breathing up a beautiful column of light that moves all the way up along your spine from the earth up into the cosmos. And then as you exhale, breathing down that cosmic energy through your spinal column, lighting up your spinal column deep into the earth. So as you inhale, breathing up the light of the earth along your spine, up into the cosmos. Exhaling, breathing down the light of the cosmos through your spine into the earth. Creating a beautiful column of light moving along your spine. And this energy, this beautiful light, is the energy of the earth and the cosmos, the energy of unconditional love, and that beautiful cosmic intuition. So keeping this breath moving from the earth to the cosmos and the cosmos down to the earth. And with each breath, feel the light of your spinal column expanding, expanding until your whole body is surrounded by a beautiful light. And then allowing this light to expand to everyone here this evening in our sacred circle, creating a beautiful safe space, a sacred space for us all to enter into, a space held by the earth and supported by the cosmos, a space of sisterhood, of union, of divine light, and feeling that beautiful connection being woven through all of us for the highest good of us all. And in this beautiful light of sisterhood, we invite in the energy of the north and the earth, the energy of the trees and the plants and the rocks. We invite in the energy of the earth to be with us now. And as we invite this energy of the earth in, I want you to take a moment to think about what you're grateful for with the earth. Welcoming in the north and the earth into our sacred circle this evening. And welcoming in the east and the air, the beautiful breath that we breathe, taking a beautiful deep breath and filling your lungs with that beautiful fresh life force. Welcoming in the birds and the ancestors, the beautiful birds that fly on the wind, the birds that give us that sense of freedom and expansion. And as we welcome in the energies of the east and the air, I want you to take a moment to feel grateful for the east and the air. What do you feel? What gratitude do you feel? And then moving to the south and the fire, the beautiful sun that shines down on us, the fire that heats our food, the fire of transformation, welcoming in this energy of transformation into this sacred sisterhood circle. And taking a moment to feel that gratitude for the south and the fire coming into your being. And welcoming in the west and the water that purifies and cleanses us, the water that hydrates us. Welcoming in that beautiful purification into our bodies, into our sacred space. And taking a moment just to connect with gratitude to the west and the water. And turning to Mother Earth beneath our feet, the Mother Earth who holds us, who gives us unconditional love, welcoming in that energy of protection, of love, of unconditional love into this space, And taking a moment to feel that gratitude for beautiful Mother Earth and all she does for us. And welcoming in Grandfather Sky, who shines down above us, shining down that beautiful inspiration, that cosmic inspiration, that intuition, welcoming that in and taking a moment to feel gratitude for that inspiration that comes into your life. And turning finally to the love within, to the beautiful love that you are, welcoming your love into this space, welcoming your heart, welcoming your soul into this sacred circle right now, and taking a moment to feel that gratitude for the love that you are. And I invite you now to take yourself into the space of your heart, to take yourself into that beautiful, safe space that is your heart. And as you enter the space of your heart, you notice that there are beautiful cushions and fabrics all around. The space feels soft and safe. Maybe there are plants in the space or trees. But within this beautiful heart space, it's like a shrine, a beautiful temple, a temple to love, a temple to joy. And in this space, you're able to relax. You're able to connect with who you are. You're able to allow your essence to come through. And in this beautiful space of your heart, in the center of it is a fire. A beautiful fire that burns to purify and cleanse, that burns to transform. And all around the fire stand your sisters. Stand those wise women, the medicine women, your ancestors, your guides, all of those beautiful women and sisters who are here to support you now. They stand in circle around the fire, and they are here to honor you. This is a time to be heard, a time to truly honor your voice and your magnificence, a time to honor the divine feminine blossoming within you, a time to dive deep and explore what needs to be unearthed to help you root deep into your strength, your love, your trust, and knowing that all your expression, both the light and the dark, is beautiful. In this beautiful sacred circle, we are here to open our truth, our dreams, our projects, our loves, to ourselves and to the world, as buds that start to open. And around this sacred fire, it's time to embrace the fear that arises on the precipice of expressing our creative dreams. And as a bud opens, it encounters resistance, and yet it emerges as a beautiful flower. We see how temporary the resistance is as we step into the blossoming of our creative self. So as you stand in this circle with the fire, with your ancestors, with all of the beautiful support you have around you. You are invited to throw into the fire those things holding you back, to shed those skins, those layers, those masks that no longer serve you, to remove them and place them in the fire right now. What baggage have you been carrying for too long that you want to release? And almost like taking off layers of clothes, you derobe yourself of all the things no longer serving you. And as you shed these skins, these layers, these clothes, and throw them into the fire lights up with beautiful fireworks. And your ancestors start calling to you, inviting you to step into the fullest expression of yourself. They invite you to think about, to feel something that has been simmering away, that wants to break free. Some project, some part of you that longs to be expressed. And they invite you to bring that out now. Just like the beautiful flower bud, to hold this idea, this part of you, this feeling, as a beautiful flower bud in your hand. And as you see this beautiful flower bud, put all of those intentions of what you want to create, what has been bubbling away, put them into this flower bud. And all of your ancestors, your sisters standing in circle, start to gently blow life into the bud. A soft, beautiful breeze of light, of love that dances around you, swirling around you and your flower bud, swirling around you, filling you with energy, filling you with a new lease of life. Seeing this light dancing, weaving in and out of your being, as the bud begins to merge into you. And with the light of your ancestors weaving around you, the bud slowly begins to open inside of you. And as the petals begin to open, you feel yourself changing. You feel yourself coming to life. You feel yourself stepping into the full expression of your soul. And as this light dances around you, you feel almost like Wonder Woman, spinning, swirling, transforming. And Mother Earth walks over to you once your transformation is complete and takes your hands and walks you to a beautiful pool of water where you look down and you look at your reflection. And in this reflection, you see this highest version of yourself. You see this highest version of yourself. What does she look like? What does your highest version look like? What is she doing? What is she achieving? What was that burning seed that wanted to come forth? See yourself achieving that now. Mother Earth takes your hands again and looks in your eyes, and she places her hand over your heart, and you feel a beautiful sense of reassurance, of love, a deep knowing that no matter what happens, you are safe, you are loved, and you are held. And you sit in that beautiful feeling that Mother Earth gives you of love. And you allow it to permeate every cell in your being. And Mother Earth places her hand next around your throat area. And as she does, you see flowers blossoming around your throat. Where once there was fear, where once there was worry about speaking your truth, now beautiful flowers blossom, and you see those flowers spreading. They're flowing out through your throat to all that come in touch with you. Those flowers are your message, spreading, your voice, taking roots, taking wings, and flowing around. And just feeling those flowers healing all that fear. Those flowers healing all those times when you've held your tongue, when you've not spoken your truth. Those flowers are healing all of those times. And those flowers are here to give you courage. Courage to speak from your heart, to let your voice be heard, for your voice is a beautiful one. Your voice is the voice of the earth. Your voice is the voice of your ancestors. Your voice is the voice of all of the women. So let your voice ring out. Let your voice stand proud and clear, for it is beautiful music. And Mother Earth leans forward now and kisses you on your forehead. And she whispers to you, let your words be guided by divine wisdom and intuition. Let your words be guided by love and integrity. Let your words be guided by kindness and compassion. But beyond all, let your words be guided by truth. And slowly, Mother Earth lets go and merges back into the beautiful circle of women surrounding you. And you know that you are held and you are safe. And you give thanks to all of the women here supporting you. You give thanks to the love within your heart. And you take a moment to make a promise, a commitment to yourself. What is that commitment that you want to make right now before these women, before your ancestors? What is the promise to yourself you want to make? And after you make that promise, you give thanks to all of them for being here. You give thanks to the love within. Give thanks to Grandfather Sky, to Mother Earth, to the west and the water, to the south and the fire, the east and the air, and the north and the earth. And you slowly bring your awareness back to your breath, back to your body, back to this present moment. Breathing deeply into your body, moving your fingers and your toes, and slowly in your own time coming round and taking a moment to make a note of anything that came to you. And in a moment, if anyone would like to share either via typing or unmuting themselves, then they can.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. I wonder if you can hear me. Yes.
We can.
I wanted to say about how I think I've got lots of words, but somehow I can't find them. And it's something to do with, I think there's lots of words that are almost beyond the words that are beyond the words. And it's almost like they're kind of all coming and don't crystallize into the thing I want to say. But I'm sort of in touch with the thing I want to say. And then I get this anxiety because it wants to be said. And I can't find the words because they're sort of unformed yet. So, yeah, that was interesting.
So often, words are limiting because the words don't necessarily hold, words have energy to them and they don't often express the depth of what we're trying to communicate. So we can have this feeling. And for me, what I do if that's happening is I breathe and I let go and I allow the energy to speak through me as opposed to me speaking from here, trying to convey the energy. So it's breathing into my heart and letting the energy take over. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yes. Yeah.
Were you able to connect into that feeling of freedom and expression in the meditation?
Yes, yes, I was. But then quickly what I described comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Mother Earth give you a gift?
Oh, she's always giving me gifts. I just feel so blessed with just the beauty, her beauty. Yeah, yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you for sharing.
Thank you.
Does anyone else want to share? Julia, it was recorded as well. So obviously it's recorded, so you can listen to the full meditation um, next time. But obviously you caught part of it, but I know it's harder to get into when you only catch part, but hopefully you were able to get into it a little bit. Does anyone else want to share their experience or their thoughts or feelings? If you want to unmute yourself if you do, or you can type it if you don't want to speak it. Does anyone want to unmute? Has everyone gone shy?
No, I'll go for it.
Okay.
So I felt strongly connected with my inner child. There's a real deep connection within me, and I felt like I saw a box being opened, and that was sort of symbolic of a voice box. And I felt as though that connection is made to express in a way which is positive and it will cause change, but it will be positive change. So that's
Nice.
what I felt.
Nice, beautiful. Thank you. That's a nice image of a box opening being your voice box. I like that. Amazing. Thank you.
Welcome.
Does anyone else want to share?
Yeah, I'll go.
Cool.
There was a lot of resistance for me because obviously it is such a big topic in my life and has been, and it's been very, the forefront for me lately as well. So it's interesting. It's happening tonight. And I think immigration and using English as a second tongue, a second language has been adding difficulty for me. But it's funny because I could not really, usually I can see very well in my meditations, but I couldn't see anything, but just very little. But my body, I could feel things in my body, and I could feel the shoulders coming down, and I could feel the neck relaxing, and I could feel those sort of things, and my body was a lot more grounded, So I think something's happened, but because the level of resistance is so huge, can't really, comment on it, with words. But yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
It's an interesting thing, isn't it? That this can bring up so much resistance, that truth, allowing ourselves to really step into that fullness and express ourselves through our voice, through our that opening. And sometimes it's too much for the conscious brain, and so the conscious brain just has to step back and let it the work happen, because the work does happen. Thank you. Does anyone else want to share?
Yes, I'll say something. I was really feeling so much love, and with the soft cushions and all the ancestors around, and I was so held. But then when it gets to the real nitty gritty of where we're going, I switch off. I go to sleep, and actually then I come back at the end, and I do this over and over, and so I feel I need to do it again and get past that, because I just think there's something in me that shuts off. I'm sure it goes into an unconscious part of me, but my conscious mind can't say where I went or what I did, because I sort of switched off from it.
Yeah. At what point did you switch off, out of interest? Do you know?
Well, I can remember all the circle, the ancestors round, the soft cushions held in love, the circle, and I don't remember much more after that. But that was the purpose of the meditation.
Yeah. The thing is, as I said to Katia, so often that happens. We get to a point and our conscious brain just goes boom, and
Yeah.
and then the journey happens because it is too much for us. There is that resistance that kicks in, and so the conscious mind goes, okay, I'll just let the subconscious do its work. The healing will happen anyway. But it's good that you felt the ancestors there and you felt in that beautiful safe space, which then allowed you to go off.
Oh yes, there was no fear.
Lovely. Thank you for sharing.
Okay.
Does anyone else want to share?
I'd like to share.
Amazing.
So I loved just laying there with Mother Earth, and I felt when she, touched her throat and the flowers, I felt, I remember I was physically like yawning a lot, like I could feel an opening, and that felt really good. And I feel like I've got a really long journey to go. Well, not, it's a big journey with my voice and using my voice and speaking my truth. But so I don't know if I really got to, even when it was like, what does that person look like when I am standing in there, as that person? I couldn't really see, but I did feel, well, I need to ask. It's almost like I'm too even timid to ask first. What if I was not only speaking my truth, but being that authentic self? Like, well, what would I be doing? What is it that I know is on the other side of that? And also when you said about kindness and compassion, like speaking with kindness and compassion, I think I'm kind of overactive in using my voice, and I'm thinking of more my at-home family situation, like from a not ego, but protecting self, probably more like ego based. So I'm overactive in that sense. So the reminding that to speak with, it's my truth, but with kindness and compassion, I think that would help to kind of balance that more. That's something that's really stuck from the meditation. And then because if I'm constantly, if I'm speaking too much, but more from that place of, I don't know, just not my heart, not my heart and higher self, and it's not having an impact anyway. It's just, yeah, making things worse, really. So yeah, that's one of the promise when you said about making a promise to myself or to the circle, is just ensuring that it's with kindness, with compassion. Yeah.
Nice. It is something that we can't always do, but if we can remember and we can come back to that, I think that is, for me, one of the most important things, because you can speak your truth, you can speak hard truths, but if it's coming from your heart and it's coming from that space of kindness, it will hit through so much deeper than that. And sometimes we have to have that because that's all we can do. And that's where we're at. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if we can come from that deeper space of kindness for ourselves as well, and honoring ourselves, and not, that is so important, that kindness for who we are. It's not just kindness for everyone else. Thank you for sharing. Does anyone else want to share?
I've got quite a few projects that I've kind of had on the back burner, thinking I need to do these, but I'm also a bit scared to do them. And this has just brought it all to the forefront of going, no, you must, yeah, go and do it. So it's kind of given me the push that I needed to say, right, I'm going to get stuck into this now and, yeah, change things. So,
Brilliant.
yeah, that would be exciting but scary, but I'm gonna go for it. So yeah.
Amazing. And know that you've got all of the support of the ancestors behind you. You've got all of that, energy. I think we're all here. We've all got a voice and we've all got something to share. We've all got amazingness to share in this world. And, you know, we don't because of fear it won't work, or fear of failure, or all these things, or I'm not good enough. That so often is our thing, isn't it? I'm not good enough. Who am I to say this or do this? But actually what we're doing is we're stopping that beautiful gift that we've been given by the earth from coming out. And so the more we can step into it, it doesn't have to be perfect. No one has to be perfect, but we just have to express that truth. And that's so beautiful. So I'm so excited. Please keep me posted on what your exciting projects are.
Yeah, we'll do.
Thank you. Does anyone else want to share? So one of the things that is so important within this is I feel writing things down. So when we have a dream, a desire, when we have a goal, when we have something we want to move towards, when we have this truth within us that is eager to get out, if we write it down as the first step, that's really important because we're spelling it out. We're making a statement. And what I like to do is write it out and put it somewhere where I can see it, so that I'm constantly looking at this thing that is this burning light in me. And another thing that's very good is getting a candle and lighting it and thinking about it, focusing on this intention, this thing you want to birth, so that you're really bringing it forward. And the more we can have these little tools to actualize these realities, the better. And so many people get stopped with their dreams and their goals because of the need for it all to be perfect. I'm just waiting until X, Y, and Z happens, or I'm waiting for the right time, or I'm waiting till the planets align, or whatever it may be. These are all excuses for stopping that flow. And there was a book, can't remember what book it was now, by Elizabeth Gilbert called Big Magic. That was what it was. And in it was really interesting because she talks about how this story came to her. And I'm going to butcher this story a little bit because I'm not very good at recounting stories, but the essence of it is what's important. But she got this inspiration, this flash came to her, and she started writing this story. And then something happened in her life and she put the book away and she stopped writing it. And then a couple of years later, she was at a party and she was talking to someone, and this person was saying, I'm writing this story, and was describing this story, and it was exactly the same story that she had put away. And what it's about is that there are these inspirations, these ideas that come to us, but they're not just going to stay. If we don't use them, they'll jump to someone else because they're living, they want to be birthed into the world. So we have these truths, we have these inspirations that come to us, but if we don't act, they're gone. Doesn't mean we won't get others, doesn't mean we're not going to get another opportunity. But it's that thing of, whilst there is that momentum, jump with it and run with it. And if it's not perfect, it doesn't matter, because that's not what it's about. It's about moving and allowing that flow of energy to happen. It's like the bud. The bud doesn't go, actually, it's not quite right now. I'm going to wait another 2 weeks before I open. But I'm ready to open, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to wait. And then the rain comes and it doesn't ever get a chance to open. So we want to be that bud that goes, there's a bit of resistance. Oh, I'm just going to do it anyway. Because what happens is there is magnificence in every blooming, to whatever level that blooming happens. And so often one of the things that we need is the support of each other. We need to have the sisterhood. We need the community to go, you know what, it's okay, I've got you. Yeah, I've got you in whatever ideas, whatever, you know, you want to do and whatever you want to say. I'm here without judgment. Because that's ultimately what we all want, don't we? We want to know that someone's got our back and they're not going to judge us and they're going to go, amazing, I support you. Is that what everyone wants?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know that's what I want. To know that someone's there and will listen to my ramblings, however mad they may be. And that I'll listen to their ramblings, however mad they may be. Because within all of our ramblings, there is divine truth. So I hope this evening has been food for thought and some inspiration. I hope it's given you some excitement. On the full moon, it's a time when we can create so much. It's a time when we have this energy behind us. So it's this time of manifestation. So when you get off this, write down your intention, put it into paper, think about it, and ask for that support from the elements. You know, we called in the elements into our space to support us. That's what they were doing. They were holding us and supporting us. So we were in this beautiful, safe space, but a strong space that's held by all of the elements. And when we do that, it intensifies the work that we do, because it's not just us then. And I love that breathing thing. I don't know how anyone got on with that, but that breathing up that column of light and just allowing that to expand, really anchoring in the earth and the cosmos into our being and us expanding out from that space. You know, and you can do that within yourself every day and create this safe space for you to sit in, for you to really connect in, and to practice speaking out your truth. And calling on the moon to help you and the earth to help you and your ancestors and your guides to be there so that you feel that support, so that you know that you're not alone in your voice. So I hope this has inspired you. And if it has, I want to share with you all also that as of today, I'm opening up my Wild Women membership. So every month we're going to be doing a full moon gathering online, and there's a community that's just started, so it's just opening up today, so that we can all support each other, so we can be there. I've been adding content into the membership portal with some recipes and some workshops. So there's a hormone workshop in there and a gut health workshop in there and a meditation workshop. So there's lots of amazing stuff and support, and it will just keep growing and more content will be added. So if this is something you're interested in, just drop me a message. And if not, I will be doing some free ones as well, because it's not just about, you know, everyone paying for things. It's also about the free stuff. So it's a mixture of both. But if people would like to be in that beautiful held space of the Wild Woman membership, then do let me know. But I hope that you have a beautiful rest of May and a beautiful rest of the full moon, and that you allow your voice to come through and truly speak. And I will put the recording of this up on my YouTube, and I'll send everyone the link so that you can do the meditation again, and hopefully connect into allowing your voice to come through and not drifting off to another place or experiencing it more. Because each time we do something, you know, when you've heard something for a second time, it's easier because your mind knows what's coming on a level, so then you can drop into it on those deeper levels. So it's a really beautiful thing. So thank you all for being here. Does anyone want to share anything before we finish?
I just want to say thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here and putting your energy into it, because it's with us all that we create the space. You know, that's the whole point of the sisterhood and coming together, is creating that space where we can all communicate.
Yeah, thank you all too. Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you so much.
Thank you.
Juliette.
Thank you.
Thank you
Look-
so much, sweetheart.
Lots of love to you all. And look forward to seeing you all again soon. And by the way, Lucy, you're looking very beautiful.
Thank you.
You're looking radiant and glowing.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. Lots of love, everyone.
Lots of love to you.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.